Good morning, afternoon, evening, happy Friday, all of that good stuff, and welcome to another episode or video of Mike Rock Uncensored. This is us live where we just get to kind of shoot the shit, have some conversation with you guys, and see how you guys are doing, especially since it's Friday and we're getting ready for the weekend. I know I have a bad habit. I'm practicing on looking at this camera as if it's a real person. Only problem is there's not too many. Number one, it's not a real person, but number two, the camera is actually above my monitor, so I'm not used to talking to people taller than me. So this is what it feels like, and it's a bit awkward. That's the reason why you see me keep looking around. Well, I'm looking around at my monitors, but it's rare that you guys see me keep my eyes and my focus on the camera. But I'm trying. I want you to know I care. I want to talk. I'm talking to you when we have these discussions. So, what do we got going on besides good morning or afternoon or evening? And who did that? Kickers AFC. What is crack a lacking? Thank you for being here, man. So, I need to, at least for a number of episodes, I need to constantly, I want to constantly remind people why they come to watch other than, hey, it's Mike Rock. Let's see what he's got going on. But when you're watching me on Mike Rock Uncensored, it's hardly ever, rarely ever will it ever be about the video games and stuff that we play over at Mike Rock Gaming. Um, but I think it's really important that we have conversations like this, just regular conversations with real people, talking about real things in life, whether it be the bullshit of relationship or the bullshit that exists within things like relationships in life and being a parent and all that other kind of stuff. And then, of course, there is politics. And the reason why I am encouraging and I am campaigning for people to listen to conversations like this is be simply because we need to change our mindset. We need to stop thinking we as a people, we need to stop looking at politics as this is just stuff that the government's doing and blah 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 blah. Politics when it comes to us is about life. It's about the choices that we are making, including the people that we vote for who are supposed to be making a positive impact on our lives. And when that doesn't happen, then we need to have those conversations because if we're not having those conversations, we are literally telling ourselves that we don't give a shit. And I don't know about you, but I do. I care about what goes on in my own life. And maybe it's because I am a full time dad, but I care about the future of this country and then of this world because I don't want to leave my kids off in a worse position than they're in now. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you're like, I got one life to live. I hate kids and I don't want to be around them. And you know, I could care less what happens to this world once I'm gone. I only care about the here and now, that's sad. That's sad, first of all. But I don't know. I don't know what needs to change for you to see that um, that we all need to be working together to make positive changes, and that includes having these discussions. So for a while, I will constantly remind you guys that hey, man, we're here because we do want to make a difference, and we do want to have these open dialogues. We do want to be able to talk about things without the fear of people ridiculing our opinions on things or how we feel about a certain subject because like I said, when I grew up, man, I remember the day when we could have conversations like this and people would get mad, they'd get angry. Why the hell would you even say that? Why would that come out your mouth? But at the end of the conversation, it was kind of like being on a basketball court. You go and play against the enemy. They're the enemy when you're on the court, but as soon as the game is over, whether you won or lost, you guys are giving each other hugs and you're like, hey, good game. I'll get you on the next one. A pat on the butt, but we don't want to say that no more. But that's just the way competition and debate and other things like that goes. We encourage those things. And I think the past had a lot of flaws, and we're always looking for ways to improve what's going on in the here and now. But having being open-minded about things wasn't a flaw that we had. I think it was one of those tools, those weapons that we had to help improve our country by making decisions that required sacrifice, that required compromise, that helped us to understand why these decisions were being made for each and every one of us. So there's that. Let me refresh my chat, man, because I see a lot of people like the stream, and oh, maybe it's because I'm not in the multi-stream area. Let me see what happens when I do that. Anyways, so there you got it. Kickers, what is going on, Kickers? What is going on, Michael Fitters, man? I do appreciate the people that continuously come here, that are willing to either listen or at least, like I said, keep an open mind about the things that we talk about. I'm doing my best because, again, I never wanted the Mike Rock show to be all about politics. Unfortunately, because I do have a big heart when it comes to the welfare of myself, my kids, and then of course the community and stuff that we're all a part of, which includes this country. I do my homework, and I read a lot of stuff, and I can see why, how the pieces of the puzzle are coming together, and how it's affecting, and how politics has a huge impact on how we live our lives. And so I apologize, but I never really wanted it to be about all that, man. What else is going on, man? Um, I been getting this question from um people that know me. They don't say it on stream. They don't want to feel like they're embarrassing me by asking the question, but people who know me, they've been asking, like, you're such a devilishly handsome looking young man, all of which I just lied about. But they do want to know why I chose, like, what's the underlying reason why I chose to become a wedding officiant. And I don't, you know, I don't know if it would ever become a full-time. What's up, Will? What's up, Dylan? I don't know if it would ever become a full-time income. I do hope it would, and you plan for the best, hope, or what do you call it? You hope for the best, plan for the worst. But part of the reason why I decided that being a wedding officiant was something that I wanted, not just for myself, but for um like as an investment in life, is I want to see more people care about having a relationship. I don't think we have enough of that going on. I think I do believe, and maybe I'm wrong. Jay Wyatt, Scott Smith, and again, Dylan Phillips, thank you guys for both liking, and then Dylan, you share. I appreciate you guys for doing that. But when it comes to relationships, and I've been, um, I don't want to say a victim, man, because I know everything I've ever done, and I have my regrets, but I don't victimize myself because of bad choices that I've made. But um, hold on, guys, I gotta refresh my page because there's no way. I don't want to say it. Here we go. Give me a second. I apologize. I got to bring up some shit. Why is that not showing up? Did my did we share to the wrong motherfucking page? Hold on, let me go see. I apologize. Streamlabs has been messing up, man, because I am sharing on Mike Rock Gaming, and I don't know why I did not put it on Mike Rock Gaming. So I guess we'll just have to download the video and go and share it on other places. So I apologize for that, guys. This shit's been messing up so bad. It's crazy. So let me, now that I know where it's at, I can mute that. What is going on, everybody? All right. So, anyways, what we talking about? Me being a wedding officiant and relationships and stuff. I have, I will just say, victimized myself by, dude, I was, I kind of became a hoe throughout life, and it didn't start out that way. I have been a victim of choices. I've been a victim of circumstances. My very first, quote unquote, real girlfriend, cheated on me with my cousin's best friend. And I don't know what bothered me more about that whole situation. Was it the fact that, I had joined the military thinking that I was going to be with this girl? I didn't know I didn't even know. Like, I thought cheating and stuff was like in the movies, because I had no experience with that stuff. But I actually joined the military thinking I was going to be with this girl, and I don't know what bothered me more, the fact that she did what she did, and it was just a total surprise to me, or the fact that my cousin knew that his best friend was messing around and sleeping with my girlfriend at the time. So I don't know what bothered me more, because I can tell you that I don't have a relationship with either one of them. I don't have a relationship. I do have a relationship with my ex's sister, and I consider her to be a really, really good friend. Not going into details. Like I said, I talk about issues, not people's names. But and I have nothing against my ex at all. It's just we just don't have that kind of relationship anymore, and I move forward. But anyways, but I don't have a relationship with my cousin, so maybe that was the bigger issue for me, because family's family. And I'm really big on family, and I hope that my kids never get to a point to where they feel like I'm the reason that they failed, or I'm the reason why bad things happen to them. And I work really hard not to let that happen. But um as far as the whole relationship thing went, I just kept having bad relationship after bad relationship, and it got me to a point to where, I knew I wasn't an ugly individual, and I was athletic, and I was doing things like playing basketball and in the military, none of which I'm doing now, and the reason why I've got two chins. But I lost respect. I had respect for what it meant to be in a relationship. I lost that respect for through experience, through time and experience. And now I'm at the point to where I've learned so much that I know I want it again. And I see how we've gotten to a place as a society where we don't place enough importance on the relationship. We don't care if we are no longer in a relationship. The grass, we've been taught that the grass, if you don't get what you're getting out of this particular relationship, you don't have to work for it anymore. Just go wherever you want to go find something better, and then you find out later on that that solution you may have gotten the answer to one particular problem, but then it's associated and it comes with a whole bunch of other different problems, and then we start jumping ship and jumping ship and jumping ship, when the real solution is, if you don't have what you want in the moment, as long as the love is there, and as long as the that whatever that is that you need to have that relationship with that person, as long as that's there, then everything else you're supposed to work on together. I said I've always said, I've got my life with you, and then we have our own lives separately. And what I mean by that is that we were we were a certain type of people before we got together. We were a certain type of person before we got together, and that didn't change. And we're not going to 100% agree with the things that we like, the things that we dislike, and we should have the freedom to be able to go and do those things. And no, I'm not talking about booty calls. I'm just talking about life in general. You may not like bowling, and I want to go bowling with the homies. We should have that freedom, that trust, and the freedom to be able to go and do that. But that's not what happens these days. So why did I become a wedding officiant? Because I like, not only does it seem fun to me, it is fun to me, but I want to start making those investments and encouraging people to work in those relationships again. This is just my part to say, hey, relationships are the way to go. Trying to get back into that whole, the family dynamics where you're married and you have kids and you work to stay together, whatever that means to you. We need to be getting back to that. And so I'm making an investment not just in myself, but I'm making an investment in the fact that I believe that we need to make that happen. We need to make relationships important again. That sounded like some Donald Trump shit as I said it out loud. I apologize. Anyways, so that's why, that's part of the reason why I became a wedding officiant. I don't do things, especially at my age right now. I don't do anything that I don't actually, or at least I try not to. I try not to do things if I don't actually have a genuine interest, personal interest in what it is that I'm doing. So when I go out to try to make money, I want to be able to do some things that I enjoy. When I go out to spend time with my kids, maybe I don't like what we're doing as an adult, but I love what we're doing as a family. So those are that's I like I said, anything I do, there's some kind of personal investment, personal benefit in it for me, and And that's what's going on with these weddings and stuff. So I hope that answered you guys' questions, because I didn't know how I was going to answer that question. I just knew it was a question that was coming up, and that kept coming up with different people. So I thought I would kind of like just kind of speak on it a little bit. What else we got going on, man? Now I am going to jump into a semi political issue. Nothing bad. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. I also know, because of where I am live streaming right now, that I have to be very careful with what I say. And so before I move on, man, I love where Twitter has gone to. I don't know. I'm still calling it X is still awkward to me, but I love the platform of Twitter, and it isn't because a lot of people, oh, it's so right wing. The only people who are saying that that's either a Republican, Democrat, whatever platform, are the people who are angry that they no longer have control over that platform anymore. It has been years since he acquired Twitter, or at least 1 or 2 years since Elon Musk has acquired Twitter, and it has become exactly what real people had hoped it would become. It's a place to have open discussions, to be open-minded. There are things called the block button and the and the delete button if you don't like the conversation that you're having with a particular group or interest. That's what those buttons are for. If you don't like it, change the channel. So Twitter is a place that it has become a place where you get to have real discussions. You can talk about whatever you want, no fear of being banned, no fear of being censored, as long as you're not coming from a place of real, genuine hatred towards a particular race, group, or culture. And and even then, they try to give you the freedom to explain your position, but when it starts to become just a little bit too much, then they kind of have to step in and say, okay, this is not what we're trying to promote here on this platform, and they have the right to do that. But as far as free speech goes, as far as being able to get your point across and to deliver the message without the fear of losing your job or being ridiculed and stuff because your opinion is different than others, X has become that place. So I encourage people. I even created a community. I create websites and stuff like that, and I'm pretty decent at it, I think. And I was going to create a website where people can come on and do exactly what X is allowing me to do. But I was like, why would I do that? Just go ahead and create the community where people already exist. I still get to have my say. People get to respond however they want, and we get to have fun with the conversation. We get to and to me, I would hope that over time we can make better choices because we have those discussions. We can open up each other's minds because there's a lot of things. I have a thirst for knowledge. I love learning new things. I love talking shit about whatever. I just love it. I love conversation. And again, Twitter allows us to do that. So what I've done is I've created, instead of creating a website specifically for everything that we're doing with Mike Rock Uncensored and Mike Rock Mike Rock Gaming, is I'm using the platforms that exist that serve that whose interests align with my own. And it isn't about being, I had to figure this out for myself. It isn't about being a Republican or a Democrat. It really is, for me, doing the right thing for this country. And so when I say I have to kind of be sensitive with the conversation that I have here on Facebook and even on YouTube, I don't have to do that on X. And if you guys want those real conversations, if I'm ever talking about something and if I'm cherry picking information that I'm sharing with you, I can guarantee you that you'll get the whole conversation over on X. So if you guys will take the time and follow us over there, I'll be more than happy to talk about whatever you guys want. I have both MRock or Mike Rock Uncensored, but it's MRock Uncensored. And then, of course, I have a community within Twitter. It's called the Uncensored Club. And the Uncensored Club allows us to have those conversations without the fear of being banned. We can talk about whatever we want and be happy about it. And be happy about it. So we'll see. Wow, you're home. Are you getting on? We'll see, man. I got another 30 minutes, bro. Maybe. I can see us getting on a plane for a little bit. So the Uncensored Club, you guys, like I said, if we're ever having conversations, like, dude, what is he talking about? There's probably a reason why you don't fully understand what I'm talking about because I have to be strategic in the things that I share here on Facebook or on YouTube. Here on Facebook and YouTube, I can kind of suggest a conversation, but we all know, and if anybody says that it's not happening, you're out of your rabbit ass mind at this point. But we all know that the minute Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the minute you share something that doesn't agree with you know, the media norm, they're going to find a reason to delete it. I'm not important enough for them to ban me yet, but, they will delete my content. I've had that happen in the past, and so I just like I said, I pretty much know what they do and don't want us to share, so I go and share it on Twitter. One Piece it is. Man, you know what? I love when people just join my conversation and then tell me that they don't like my conversation, so they're gonna go and do something else. Very encouraging to everyone else that is watching the conversation, or listening to the conversation. But I appreciate you. I love you. I love you anyway. Um, what else? What's going on with everybody else, man? What was I getting ready to say? Oh, I was going to share something with you that is a little political. And this might surprise some of you guys, man. A lot of people sit up and think that I'm some kind of Trump lover, and I'm not. I've never ever been a Trump. I don't hate Trump. Um, the way that I'm voting right now is I am voting against our current government. That's probably the best way to summarize where my conversations come from, why I'm trying to get people to listen. Um, oh, I know, Will. I'm just fucking with you, bro. I'm fucking with you, Will, because I know I can. But anyways, I've never like a lot of people just the minute that I sit up there and say something that's anti-Biden, I must be pro-Trump. No, I am pro doing what the fuck is right for this country. Period. Period. And if I thought that there was a better candidate right now to help us um uproot our current government so that we can start over and start doing the right things for the people in this country, I would definitely probably vote in that direction. I don't now with that said though, I do honestly believe that do I think Trump is the best person in the world? No, I don't. But most people in his position aren't either. They sell it differently. They say they say what you want to hear instead of just being themselves. Because I honestly believe that if the majority of the people in this world that make a whole lot of money or in positions of power just were who they actually are in the public eye, then we would hate a lot of them. In fact, probably some of the ones you think you love, if you found out who they really were, you wouldn't like them. And I think in Trump's particular case, because he doesn't agree with what's going on in the government or because he is the enemy of the government right now, then they have no problems exposing that side of him so that you guys can see it. I believe that. So at the end of the day, um, you kind of have if you really want to do what's right for this country, you kind of have to look past um the facade and these misrepresentations of the truth that the media is selling us and try to do our best to figure out who's going to make the better decisions for the country. And experience shows us right now that regardless of whoever else it isn't the Biden administration. I'm sorry. A lot of things I'm finding out, the more every time I hear that he's done something good statistically, I go and do the homework and I find out that it's not exactly what they want you to believe. They just sell it to you in the media very, very well. And I'll hit on one of the bigger topics for that in regard to that, and that's unemployment. They're trying to tell you, so this is what you hear in the news. Unemployment is at its all-time low since Biden has been in office. We've heard that. That's not necessarily true. What is true to hit the statistical number is that they have been removing people from unemployment, unemployment where they get money and stuff for not having a job. they have been removing more people from unemployment who no longer qualify for whatever reason, which drops that number because that's where they get the stats. They don't know the actual number of how many people are unemployed here in America. They can only go with the information that they have. And part of that information comes from the unemployment offices. So whether they've done it strategically by design or whatever the case may be, they can say that unemployment is down or at an all-time low, not because it is, but because they have removed people from that census. They've removed people from that stat that allows us to know, that gives us an idea of how many people are employed and unemployed. Um, no, I agree with that too. Like I said, you said you vote for The Rock. Now I think, you know what, man? I'm gonna put it out there, man. With everything going on with P Diddy and they're saying Jay-Z is they're doing an investigation into him now and the Jeffrey Epstein type stuff. When you hear, we'll get into it. Let me finish this because that's probably the last thing we'll talk about, and then we'll end the show for the day. But uh I'm gonna tell you somebody who I actually like, and the more I listen to him, the more I like him. And I'm gonna set this up because during the this is where I have to be careful with my words. During the pandemic, um, there was a particular individual that was speaking out against what we were doing to fight um the virus and quarantining the entire world. People, lost businesses as a result. The shots and stuff that came out, and I don't need to go further into detail. We all know what happened. But one particular individual decided to challenge that. And it was like, hey, for instance, one particular thing, this came out too soon. We need to do more homework. Or after doing the homework, we found that, this particular thing, you see, I'm really nitpicking this conversation. This particular thing, ingredient, has been known to hurt people, has been known to kill people, and don't quote me verbatim. I'm just I'm dumbing this down for myself. But they spoke out against it, and because this person spoke out against it and had proof to speak for why they felt a certain way or why they felt that this was the case, they decided to label this person a nut job. Beaver, no, not Beaver. Cuba Gooding Jr. is also in that mix too now with Dick. Cuba Gooding, you know what? He looked funny, bro. Dude, stop it! I'm gonna get there. But anyway, they decided to label this person a nut job and a conspiracy theorist and all this other kind of stuff, even though he had proof. And the reason why they did that in mainstream media is because they didn't want you to listen. Here's the thing about truth. The minute you hear it, you can't unhear it. The media can feed you whatever they want, but the minute you hear the truth and it makes sense, not only can you not unhear it, you kind of get addicted to that. You want to know why that makes more sense than what they're feeding you over here. And so you start to do the homework. So the whole point of what's going on in the media is to not only keep you from the truth, but to keep you from anything that's going to get you to start thinking on your own, to stop being a puppet and stop choosing their source of information as the only source of information. And if you did that, you would realize that there are a lot of lies that you are being told, that you've been duped about, because they don't have enough respect for you to treat you like the person you're supposed to be, or the independent thinker, or the person who's trying to do the right thing for this country. So anyways, this particular individual is Robert Kennedy Jr. Dude's got a horrible, I don't know what's going on with him, and I'm sorry for saying it the way that I am, but it's really hard to be patient enough to listen to what he says because his voice is fucked up. But the dude makes a whole lot of sense. I would almost rather read what he has to say than to listen to what he has to say. That's not the truth with everybody. But if you can work past that and then deal with the fact that that not just the media, but the government is now being exposed for calling the wrong people the conspiracy nuts. Cat Williams, they what is it, blacklisted him and banned him and canceled him and everything else. And come to find out, almost everything. I don't know what he's lying about, but there's a lot of things that he said that's coming to light as true. So getting, it's because when I started to realize that what this individual said was making sense because I chose to listen, I started listening more and more and more. And it's really hard for me to find fault with the thing that this person is saying because he is willing to debate anybody. He is willing to bring proof to the conversation on anybody. But the people his and it's gotten to the point to where the people he challenges, the people he wants to debate, they would rather put him through a smear campaign than to prove that he's wrong because they can't. Period. There are always three truths: what you hear from the media, what you hear from others, and what you read on your own research, which no one really does. Bro, motherfucker, I need you on the show. Because that's some real shit right there. So, but I want you to I'm not going to go into every little detail that he talks about. We're not going to talk about the coronavirus. I just want you to hear, this is part of the reason why, like I said, he's just real. When we were speaking about this whole Barona thing, let's just say Barona Casino, the Barona Casino, which is in San Diego, California. Listen to what he said about both leaders, because the person speaking up, he tried to defend both Trump and Biden by saying that the pandemic was it was horrible, it was horrendous, and that they were put in a position where they didn't have a choice, that the experts said, and that's why. And so this is him speaking up on, this whole theory behind always listening to the experts. And let me just, so you guys can hear what this guy has to say. Here we go. Let's enlarge that. Here, listen to this.
They were violating their own protocols, and
Yes.
nobody asked. You had people telling us, trust the experts. And of course, that is not a feature of science, not a thing. Trust the experts is not a feature of science. It's not a feature of democracy. It is a feature of religion and totalitarianism. And in democracies, we don't do that. We question everybody, and we need a president who knows that.
Let me ask you one.
Boom! How do you disagree with that? He said trusting the experts is not a feature in science. It's not a feature in our democracy. But it is a feature, and it makes perfect sense. It is a feature in religion and totalitarianism. I hope I said that right. That's true. You should be able to challenge everything. Find out why, because at the end of the day, the truth will hold up to whatever scrutiny we put in front of it. The truth does. The lie doesn't. If something that's suspicious gets even more suspicious the more you ask questions, there's a reason for it. Bro, hey, could you imagine his voice? I'm sorry, Ara. I hope he never watches this video, bro. But no, wisdom rolls off your dome when you get high, bro. But anyways, dude, I can't see the lie in that. And then what was more important, so a lot of people are against his VP choice because she's like 38 years old. A lot of people, and they're doing what they did to Vivek Ramaswamy and a lot of other people who challenge what's going on in our government right now. And there's a smear campaign that's already started out against her. And I won't be surprised if they try to come out later on and try to say that she's a wannabe Playboy model, because she's not ugly. She's a very pretty woman. But if you look past all of that, she's actually there is a lot of value and I can understand why. I'm not saying that she was the best choice for VP, but listening to him explain it and then listening to her speech when she got when she became his choice for VP, I can understand if she stands by what she says and with her experience because she has the experience that he speaks about in his campaign. So I understand why he chose her. Whether it was the best choice to do the job, I get I guess we're gonna have have to wait. Bro, why are you fucking with me, bro? He said think he swallowed a shake weight. You know what? I kind of hope he does watch this. I hope Robert Kennedy, I'm gonna tag you, and I hope you do watch this after a while because I do. Hopefully, you understand that we are a fun-loving crowd. We're gonna speak. I'm gonna speak up for you, but it doesn't mean we don't have jokes, and we do. So so I don't. And then he said something else. A lot of people don't want you to believe that the government is willing to put out a hit on you if you threaten their position of power. A lot of people don't want to believe it. That's all conspiracy. There's no way in the world our own government will put a hit out on you, not because you're spreading disinformation, but because you're spreading the truth and it doesn't favor them. So he had so at the end of this conversation, there was a question. They take questions from the audience, and this particular individual came on board. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a baby boomer, and I'm gonna vote for you," but he had a real question, and I'm gonna let you guys hear the question and then listen to his answer because this is real shit. This is real shit that people have to consider when they decide. You guys understand what people have to go through when they decide to challenge what the government has to say because it's not easy. Especially at this point, we have let it go on for so long that it's not easy to want to stand out with the truth against people who just want to be in power. So this is the question, and this was his response.
You are going after some of the largest entities that exist: big pharma, big agri, big government, the CIA, the FBI. Do you think that means that we elect you, right? Are you going to live? Are they going to come after you?
Are you going to live?
Well, that's not something, Will, that I worry about. I think there are, I'm not stupid about it. So I have, the government, the White House has denied me Secret Service protection. But I do take precautions, and I have a very good security firm, Gavin DeBecker Associates, that is doing my security right now. So I'm not stupid about it, but it's not something that preoccupies me. I was raised in a family where we were taught that number one, there's a lot worse things than dying, and one of those things is living like a slave or having our children lose all the freedoms that so many generations of Americans died to give us and to protect during that Revolutionary War. That was a whole generation of Americans that put their lives on the line, their fortunes, their property, their salaries, their reputations, their contacts on a line to purchase us these freedoms. And many of them died. During the Civil War, 659,000 Americans died to
I'm
keep
done.
these
I'm done with
freedoms,
this.
and we have to be willing.
So that dude said it all. He said, and there's a lot of people who stand out against the truth that have to say these same things. And just to show you, even Tupac said that he would rather what was it? He would rather die on his feet than live on his knees. When you decide to speak out with the truth or even challenge what's going on in our government, you also have to face the real possibility that your life is immediately put on the line, especially if you have enough influence for that causes people to listen. And it's sad that we can't do it by ourselves. I put up a video the other day where I'm like, bro, if I ever grow enough, which I probably won't have to worry about, but if I ever grow enough to where my influence makes you feel like I've become a threat, you do not I won't lie for you, but you don't have to kill me. Just buy me out. And the reason why I say that as a joke, I say it jokingly, but it's kind of not a joke, because at the end of the day, I know that we're in a position right now where people don't want to hear the truth. I will probably never be popular simply because people don't want to know the truth. They don't want to hear it because they would have to admit that they've been duped, and nobody wants to know that they've been duped. Me, I don't give a fuck. If I've been duped, I've been duped, and that's just going to help me become a better person. That should be the mindset, but that isn't the mindset. And now it's just, the I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say, bro. Fuck. He sounds like he's about to bust his nut any second, but but every time his voice died many moons ago. um, no, I'm just saying that like these are the things that people need to understand. What people that stand by the truth have to stand up to. That's the reason why, like I said, if I have to choose between Biden and Trump, I am going to vote Trump, because I know what they have to go through to basically challenge what's going on in the government. Nobody hated Trump. I'm sorry, this isn't about, nobody hated Trump at all until he decided to challenge the government. And most people that will tell you in person that they hate Trump cannot give you a valid reason why they hate Trump. I've asked. People sit there, oh, I hate Trump. I don't argue with them. Well, why? Why do you hate Trump? Can't give me a reason. They only give you, and the people who do give you reasons, I can guarantee you some shit that you've heard in the media. I'm not saying that makes him the best candidate for president at all. And I'm also telling you out of the horse's mouth that me deciding to vote for Trump, we're at the point, like I wanted Vivek Ramaswamy, to be honest. I wanted Vivek Ramaswamy to win the Republican primary, or even DeSantis. I thought that they were both better choices than Trump, but that's just my opinion. But now that the primaries are over and it's Trump versus Biden, I don't know where we're going to be at if we try to live through another 4 years of what this dude is doing right now, like at all. Like we can go on and on. And I promise you that if you guys join me over on X or even support me on Patreon, we'll talk more freely about those issues. Again, all I can really do with Facebook and YouTube, because the struggle is real, is to initiate a conversation. Sounds like somebody's in my house, and it's Mikey. Why are you here so early? Oh shit. Oh shit. My kids are home. I didn't even know they were home. Bro, I thought I was getting robbed. Oh, no, okay. That's a valid reason not to like Trump. His hair. That's bothered me even before he became a Republican. But anyways, and you can see that even though we've kind of sort of discussed politics, I'm not going on any real issues. I think that's where I made my biggest mistake in the past is, I try to discuss individual issues just a little bit too much. I think for me, the important thing is that we need to start realizing that we need to have conversations. We need to be willing to have conversations, and we're not doing that at all. And close now to touch back on, wait, what time does Brianna get out? Hey, guys, what time does Brianna get off? She's with her mom? Damn, bro, where the fuck have I been at? Crazy. So yeah, well, I guess we're getting on, but I want to close this with this whole media shit right now, with the celebrity shit, bro. I'm gonna promise you, I've done enough homework, and I'm gonna make this. It's not a prediction. Predictions is what crazy people say. Well, not really, but anyways, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna say this. It's not over. The whole thing with P. Diddy, R. Kelly, none of that's over with. And the other thing I can guarantee you, it's not a prediction, it's a guarantee. When all is said and done, whether it's now, whether it's years, a couple of years from now, whatever, there's going to be some connections made with everything that's going on in Hollywood and everything. And dare I say it, a particular culture / religion who is making really big waves that wants to say that everything you say that mentions them is anti something. But there's going to be a lot of connections, a lot of dots that are going to be connected that nobody had any idea should have been connected. And I'll give you one so you guys can be like, oh, what the fuck? This guy's crazy. I don't give a fuck. A lot of people think were led to believe that Michael Jackson committed suicide. Now, I'm not gonna sit up and tell you he wasn't. I am gonna tell you that there's some really compelling information out there to suggest a very different theory. Really, like no lie. It's out there. They don't the media didn't expose it or publicize it enough, but it's out there. If you're willing to listen, or maybe I'll even put together a blog post for my community over on Twitter if you guys want that information. It's not conspiracy shit. It's not something I made up. It's information that is out there in multiple sources. But the media did a really good job of covering that up. Like I said, I didn't even know this information exists, and I do a lot of homework. It wasn't until I started looking into this whole P. Diddy situation that a lot of other things started to come to light through Google search and through other conversations that I read about and everything else. And then blam, I got hit with this Michael Jackson situation. I was like, what the fuck? So he bro, I love this about my boy Will, but we will rarely ever have a conversation, no matter how serious, that we don't start laughing about. Because if you guys are not reading, we should just change the name of this show to the comment section. Because that motherfucker always has something to say that just throws everything off kilter. But okay, so I just threw that out there. But he asked me a question. He said, "Oh no, he didn't ask me a question earlier." He said that The Rock, that he would vote for The Rock. I think The Rock is. Nobody's going to talk about him, but I think The Rock is a part of all this bullshit. If you guys listen to the Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay, and you really, really should listen to the Cat Williams interview too. There's two interviews now. There's one with him and Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay on YouTube, and then there's another one that I just got wind of that between him, Cat Williams, and Joe Rogan. And a lot of people don't like Joe Rogan for the same reason. That dude is exposing game. He's not Republican or Democrat. He lets everybody speak. Joe Rogan is the bomb. But there's an interview with Cat Williams from both Shannon Sharp and Joe Rogan that is exposing game. And one of the things that Cat Williams said in his interview is that there's a humiliation style initiation in order for you to get rich in Hollywood. And for the black community, one of those initiations that they have to go through is to wear a dress in their movies. At least one of their movies. And when you look at the people who are being accused of wrongdoing in the media, and we're just speaking on the black community right now, numero uno, the head honcho, happens to be, according to sources, Oprah Winfrey. And when you take that into account and you look at what's going on, now that Oprah Winfrey's the head of this this dragon. I don't know if you want to call it a three-headed dragon, but this dragon in Hollywood right now. P. Diddy's a part of that whole thing. But The Rock, if I'm not mistaken, something happened in Hawaii, the flood or the natural disaster, whatever, the hurricane, something where they decided they needed to raise funds. And for a hot minute, The Rock teamed up with Oprah Winfrey in order to make that happen. And then, of course, they both had to defend themselves because people felt like they were there for the wrong reasons. And then you also look at The Rock, and he had his minute. I mean, think about this. And tell me if I'm wrong. But you get a kid, you get a kid. Everyone gets a kid. What the fuck? But think about this. One of the worst movies The Rock ever made was The Tooth Fairy. where he was wearing the little tutu outfit and stuff. But The Rock was never more famous than he is right now until after that movie. Now, that's just me doing my own math in my head. But he had movies before that, and he was only known as The Rock. You know, they watched The Rundown, which actually is a really, really good movie if you haven't watched it. His acting sucked, but The Rundown, the movie, was actually a really, really good movie. But it was okay. I mean, as far as performance-wise, it was okay. It wasn't the most successful movie he ever put out. What else did he make after that? Like The Scorpion King. It was okay. And then he made The Tooth Fairy, where he wore a tutu and everything else, and the movie bombed. It was garbage. But after that movie, that motherfucker started putting out some hits. Straight hits. Every movie he put out after that. So I'm like, nobody's talking about that dude right now, but I wouldn't be surprised. And like again, I'm not saying that he is a part of it, not at all. I'm not even alleging he is. I'm just saying if we're putting two and two together, that kind of makes some sense. I'm just saying. We do know that again, if you listen to that interview, that Cat Williams is calling out Ludacris, the rapper, because he said that there was a part of both their lives that crossed, where they were approached by the Illuminati. So, and the way he said Illuminati, it's just like anybody else says Illuminati, you're just like, well, do they really exist? He said it as a matter of fact. And he even said that they were approached by the Illuminati, him and Ludacris, and they basically told them that this is only going to happen for one of you guys. They both, if you guys remember, Cat Williams, and it all makes sense the way he tells this story. You guys remember at the time that Cat Williams and Ludacris, around the same time, had that really long, pointy sideburn thing. It was really ugly. It's just like it stopped like at the corner of their mouth almost. And Cat Williams said that when they were approached by the Illuminati, both of them, they said, listen, this is only going to happen to one of you, the first one. If you're willing to basically shave your sideburns, and I believe it was wear a dress, it was something else. But you do what we say, and you're gonna make like $100 million through some movies that we put you in. And Cat Williams said, I didn't do it. He goes, but look what happened to Ludacris shortly after that. He shaved his sideburns, and he's been in all of these Fast and Furious movies where he's made at least $10 million per movie. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? So those kind of, now again, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know the truth behind any of those things, but those type of stories fascinate me. Those mysteries, those things where people do. I love math when it comes to conversations. I don't know if that makes sense, but when you start adding shit up and it makes sense, you're like, what the fuck? That at the very least, that's real entertainment because it makes you think. Alex Smith, man, thank you for watching the stream. So when he said that, I was like, dude, go back and you guys want to prove that Cat Williams is lying? When you listen to his conversation, go do the homework for yourself, man. Go and check out the timelines that he's speaking on. When you speak from the top of the dome, a lot of times you don't get all of the timelines right. But when you start doing the math and you start checking things out, fact checking things on your own, you're like, dude, this shit adds up. It's crazy. Anyways, man, it's about time for us to get out of here. It's 12:05. You guys will more than likely be able to catch us right back here on Mike Rock Gaming because this conversation was supposed to happen over at Mike Rock Uncensored. Streamlabs decided it was a good idea to fuck me today and put my conversation for Mike Rock Uncensored over here. So I'm going to download this video later, put it over on Mike Rock Uncensored, and then I'm going to delete this video here on Mike Rock Gaming because like I said, I don't want to mix up the two. If you're here for gaming, we've got Mike Rock Gaming. If you guys are here for conversation, there's Mike Rock Uncensored. If you want to have the full conversation, you guys really should check out, don't listen to what people are saying. Twitter is not for Republicans. Twitter is for everybody. The only people who don't like Twitter are the people who are encouraging you not to listen to both sides or all sides of the story. There's real information over there, man. I think people are getting more factual information from the people as opposed to news outlets. And if you are going to listen to news outlets, I'm going to highly suggest. I just found these people. They're called News Nation, and I found them on YouTube, which is where I found this interview with Robert F. Kennedy. I like News Nation, at least for now, because it's my understanding that they don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican or a Libertarian or an independent. They don't care. They want the news the way that the news is supposed to be reported. Now, I'm just telling you I'm just sharing feedback with what I've seen so far. Whether it remains to be that way, I don't know, but I think we should all be starving for real information and not this bullshit that we're being spoon-fed on a daily basis. I am getting out of here for now. At least for the next 5 to 10 minutes, because we're going to jump on over to Mike Rock Gaming. We're going to probably Will, are you still here? Anybody listening that wants to go and play some video games with me? Will's not here anymore. You know what? I was gonna say he's not here, but this ain't Twitch. Twitch, you get feedback. Like you can see shit after like 3 seconds. Here on Facebook, it take you like 10 to 20 seconds for you to see what I just said. Oh, Dylan's here too? What the fuck? All right, man. Give me about 10 minutes to end this, to get set up over on Facebook, or excuse me, on Streamlabs for Twitch and Facebook, and you guys will see us back here in a little bit, man. Again, if you guys have enjoyed the content, or maybe you haven't, but it's entertaining enough, we're going to have more discussions like this, man. You guys can like and follow me on YouTube, which I hope. Follow me on as many platforms as possible, whatever you've got on your phone. But right now, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. If you're on Rumble, we're on Rumble. If you're on Twitter, you should be on Twitter, man. If you don't even have to tell anybody. That's the thing. Be anonymous if you want to. Don't tell anybody you're on Twitter. Just go to Twitter so that you guys can start getting a better understanding of what's going on in the world for yourself. Elon Musk has truly done some amazing things with that platform. And like I said, the only people that hate people like him are the people who are against truth and not for it. You guys have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you today, if I don't see you tomorrow or Sunday, be safe over the weekend. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves, man. And we will see you guys again when I see you. Peace.